All right, guys. So my name is Sheldon. The head is big for a reason. This is Parenting Unplugged. Now, on this episode, there is a sensitive topic on the chopping board, but we will go there because if we don't talk about them, then it means that this platform there is no point to this platform. And so I chanced upon a video on Twitter yesterday about a lady, narrating a story of how, she was sexually abused by the dad at the age of 10, 10, to the point that when she asked the dad for school fees, the dad would tell her to lie down. So basically, the dad was treating her like, I don't know the word to use, but the dad was sexually abusing her each and every day. So she sat down with Maria on the show and she was narrating it. And the story, it was sad.
I got virgin by my father when I was at the age of 10 years old. The first time it happened, I explained to my mom, she did not do anything about it. So I was like, why should she not do anything about it? I called her that, Mom, something like this happened. She said it would be fine, that she would do something about it. I said, okay, but that time I was still small, I think it was normal. So it happened the second time again. That was when I was 10, going to 11 years old. He had sex with me again. Because,
This is your biological father?
yes.
Okay. And you told your mom and she
Did
didn't...
not do anything about it.
What's your mom's background? Like, where's she from? What'd she do? Like, where did you guys live?
Live at room and parlor, self-contained.
Lagos?
Yeah,
And she didn't do anything?
no, for now.
Did you have any other sorts of friendship, loved ones, or...
No, I don't have friends.
And you didn't have cousins, aunties, nobody?
No, I have no. Like, daddy don't want me to be. Because sometimes, whenever maybe Christmas time, or like, Dad, I want to go and do holiday. One of my sister's place, or my mommy brothers, people like, no, I should not go. I should just be with him always.
At 10, I'm believing that you had a little sense of what was going on. You understood everything was wrong.
Yes,
Did you ask him why?
Yes, I asked him why. I was like, it's normal. That's what he told me.
Where's your father right now?
He's at the police gender desk because I don't know what they're doing about it now.
When did this come to light? When did you report this case?
That was January.
This January.
Yeah. Because it has happened for so long.
Sorry. The first ever time he tried it, what was your thought? Like, where were you?
I was like,
What
is this
where were
man
you?
okay? Like, but the way he was doing, so I was thinking what he was doing was normal.
And you asked him and he said that.
Yes, that's what he told me. He said it's normal. That if I go online, I will see that it happened.
How did you get to reporting him? Like, what was the courage? How did we get here?
Because it always happened. So because
Was this constant?
like 3 times in a week.
Oh, gosh. Have you been to the hospital since? Like, have
And
they?
when I went to go and report at the Noveza, so they took me to Mirabel. So that's when I went to go and the test.
Can you run us through the day that you actually left home when you reported him?
Okay, it was this year. That was in January because he sent me a message to leave and so I'm going to pay a POS machine. So when I was thinking about what happened, I was like, let me go and report. Because what happened is that while I was still there because of my education, because I know
At home?
Yeah, it says while I was still there because of my education, because I should run away to affect my education. So I have to stay. So they said that when I was to do my work, that was 2020. It was like you have to sleep with me first before you could pay me money for work. So I was like, pay down.
Are you sure he's your father?
Yes.
You asked your mom?
Yes. She said yes.
Now, this is not peculiar to this lady. A lot of people have been through this. Child sexual abuse. A lot of people have bottled it up from childhood till now. The trauma, all the things that they've been through, they don't want to say. They don't even have an enabling environment to be in a position to actually vent or speak up. You understand? And that is why it is important as a society, as thought leaders, influencers, platform owners, to talk about some of these things. Give people, that kind of safe space spot to actually talk. Because if you don't do it that way, you have to then you go carry go. So on this episode, we are talking about child sexual abuse. Now let me give you a start. Psychology Center says child sexual abuse in the system, 34% comes from the family. So the family itself I mean, the mother, the father, I mean, that is, the typical kind of family, traditional family setup. But anyone that lives with you under the same roof is your family. So it emanates from this quarters. 34% is staggering. It is mind-busting. And this is why it is important for us to have this conversation. So on this episode, I have Mrs. Barbara Chum Berima here with me. And welcome.
Thank you.
Is everything okay?
This is a heavy topic.
This is a heavy topic.
Yeah.
My head saved the way. I don't know what to do. And I don't know how to go about this topic, but we need to have the conversation regardless, because maybe through this platform, someone would actually be bolding up or emboldened to actually go and confront the abuser or actually speak out, because you can't do for the rest of your life. So on this episode, that is the topic.
Because if you do nothing will change.
If you don't speak up, there is nothing going to change about it. We need more people to actually own their story and tell the truth.
Yes.
Even if it's not even going to give you that kind of closure that you want, you have basically put out your truth. Whether people believe you or not, at the end of the day, you said what you are supposed to say, and you move on with your life.
Yeah.
So this topic, child sexual abuse and
molestation.
You've been in a position like that before.
Yeah.
And which was terrible, right?
Very terrible.
So from that time till now, how have you dealt with this thing? And recently you told me, say you confronted, the person that did this to you.
Yeah.
Of course, the details of that story is not, but first of all, what even brought about the whole, let me go and confront this person, because bro, I have to do this thing.
Because
for my mental health.
For my mental health. Yeah. And I'm at an age where I'm going to turn a big number very soon. And I feel like I'm a mom. I've come to myself. Like I've become self-aware. So I was ready. I was ready to tackle it and just let that be. I'm growing. So I had to let that be in the past for me to grow.
But then, so from that time, at what age did this happen though?
So I was abused by a neighbor and a family member.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what about that?
The age.
The age. So the first abuse happened when I was 7.
7.
And then this one was when I was in my teens. Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point.
So the younger one, when I was 7, was by a male, and then in my teens was a female.
But at that point, I mean, with regards to whatever happened at that point, were you aware of what was going on?
I knew it was wrong.
You knew it was wrong.
Yeah,
so
I was aware. It's wrong.
Okay.
So
you knew it was wrong.
But I had no power because I was a child. Yeah. So but I knew it was wrong.
Okay. So I mean, this is the time that you confronted the person, and what was the reaction? How did the person?
It wasn't good.
Okay.
But I sort of understand that because they were not expecting it. So at first they had a very vague reaction, and then they called me an idiot, and they hang up on me.
The person called you an idiot.
Yes.
For just coming out to say, so you did this to me.
Yeah.
But then, so at the end of the day, there's nothing like that.
There is no closure. I'm sorry or anything like that. No. And I'm sure they're going to deny it too.
But then, are you okay with that?
I am, because I was bold enough. Because you stay in fear for so long. And then when something like this happens to you, and especially if you have to deal with a person on a daily basis, you see them every day. You kind of learn to live with it, but it's just something just off. But now that I've been able to confront the person, I feel so much better.
Okay.
I feel stronger that I can do so much. I can do more. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So but then, also, so in a system like this where, I mean, even the victim, the survivor of some of these atrocious things that people do to, case and things.
Yeah.
First of all, they don't even believe you. You tell your family people and they go like, nah, this can't be true. Some of them believe it, but they just don't want it to be true.
Yes.
So how then do we encourage more people to come out and, speak their truth? Because it is true that we are going to, get more people aware of the situation or the things happening. Because however you want to see it, it is happening. Till today, people are still doing it. And there are people in positions of power where, like, they do this thing and they go scot-free because they are untouchable.
Yes.
It's not even about family thing, general. How do we encourage people to, because I know in Ghana here we have DOVSU, Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit. I searched on the internet yesterday. They have a number. They have an office. I don't think a lot of people have, been to their centers or their center because more times people feel like these people don't even have practical solution to give to you.
Yes.
Okay, your uncle did this to you. Okay, most they don't even give practical solution.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But I also think so besides the government agencies, there are also several NGOs that also offer various services to these things. I'm not sure who they really are, but I think there are some around. So just seek help. You never know, right? You never know who may be able to help you. And how would you know if they can help you if you don't try?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you see NGOs, and how do you get to know that this is an NGO trying to offer this?
So just go on the internet and search. Most people are on the internet these days. So just Google the search for, I guess, a domestic abuse center or something close to you, wherever you are, and then seek help from there.
I want to know the effect this experience had on you from your childhood till now. I'm sure you went through a lot of things, psychologically, emotionally, even to a point where maybe some of the life decisions that you took in life at some point, it was basically, premise on this particular experience. Walk me through the side effects, all the things that you had to go through because you were subjected to this treatment. Yeah,
when you go through sexual abuse or molestation, I think that especially if you're in our culture, you are tagged as a bad child, It's like it's your fault. So you grow up thinking that you're a bad child sometimes, right?
Is that what happened to you?
For a very long time, I thought that burden was on me. I had that tag on me. I thought I was the bad child. Although I was a child, but you don't know better, right?
Were these comments, entrenched by family people like Oya Kwalaboni?
No,
or it was just a thought.
It was a thought, and because I'd heard someone say it, so that stuck with me, So then you get to the teenage years where you want to rebel because after all, I've been accused of something that I'm not. Let me just act it out and become it, right? So when I went to college, I was just like, but then I'm not the kind of person. It didn't quite work out. I was trying to be like crazy, bad.
About something.
I tried to act out that whatever they thought I was, but then I realized that this is not who I am. So then I stopped with that. But
it had an effect.
It had an effect on you, on me, and my self-esteem as well.
But then how did you deal with that? You understand? What life...
To be honest, right? I didn't deal with it for a very long time. I was very depressed for a very long time. I was lost for a very long time. But I read a book by Joel Osteen and that changed my life. So I was just really fortunate enough to have discovered that book. But I think until then, I was very lost. I was very, very lost for a very long time.
But then in all, these things happening, did you tell your parent? Were they receptive?
So which one? The first one, my mom knew about it.
Both.
So the first one, my mom found out, and then she confronted the person that was abusing me. It was an older guy, a neighbor. So my mom would go to work, and I'll come home from school and play, and that's when he took advantage of me. So when my mom found out, she confronted him, and that wasn't pleasant, right? And then she became very paranoid too. So she was very, very fearful of something happening to me. And then I left that environment and went to another environment where this other thing happened to me by a female. So that one, my mom wasn't close by, so it took me some time to tell her. But eventually I did. But that was many years down the road fighting with my mom.
But was she receptive?
Responsive? Yeah, she agreed. She knew that I wouldn't lie about something like this. So she believed me.
But were there people that you told this story and they went like, nah, bro, you tripping?
No.
People believed you?
I don't know. Most people that I've told, not many, believed me.
So what prevented them from, empowering you, enabling you to actually confront? Or they were just not in, they believed and they were not.
They'll believe you, but it's like, that was it.
But that's not the way, right? How will you give such a case to God?
So they believe that one way or another, it'll come to them because you reap what you sow, right? So,
But bad people live very long though.
But do you know what they're going through?
Yeah, I understand, but you see, I want the papa judgment.
Instant justice.
I mean, I don't believe in that, but bro,
I know.
Nyame will prolong the thing.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like these are some of the reasons why people don't want to? Because young for me, Nyame saying.
So, can't do bet me. Obi and me boame.
Yeah.
So,
but don't you think that somebody should actually own up and be that kind of person? Say, nah, we need to have a sit down conversation. However powerful let's have this conversation. Let's talk about.
But in my case, when I confronted this person in my adulthood, the person is denying it. You know, everyone else around them, the close people that are around this person, almost so, even though they might believe it, it's fear of accepting that this person did that to somebody. You know, until they also deny it. How do we move forward if you are denying it? Where are we going to go? Who are we going to talk to?
There's no acceptance. There is no solution.
There is no solution. There's no solution.
So you have had to live with this for your formative year through, till the day you confronted her and she insulted you.
She called me an idiot. And it's not just me. I've heard about men who have also been abused by women and men when we're younger. That baffles my mind. Like, how does a woman see a young boy as attractive to even molest them? It's a sickness.
There are stories like that. You hear it in the news all the time.
Yeah, and so when you see people reacting stories in a situation, when people are acting a certain way towards people, it's usually because there's some sort of pain or something attached to it somewhere, and that's why it's followed them through their adulthood.
You said this is like some form of sickness.
It is.
Don't you feel like, these are decisions taken by people to actually mess up people's lives?
Oh no, they are sick.
Okay.
It's because they find you attractive, and you're a child. It's not supposed to be like that.
It's not supposed to be normal.
It's not normal, but it's not normal.
Yeah.
And I believe that most people who do that have also been abused. So it's a cycle.
So it has been passed on.
So you have to, if you are in a situation where you've been abused and you find yourself having the same tendencies towards children or attraction towards children, seek the necessary help. And if you can't go somewhere because you're ashamed to do it, go on the internet and do a self healing.
Okay.
Go through the process yourself. You can do it. It's a mindset. Just like you go to school, you want to become a doctor, you learn it, become a doctor. You can really go to school, you can go online, learn and detach yourself from these behaviors. So that you don't repeat that cycle over and over again. It's a sick cycle.
With regards to your story, and based on the fact that it was done to you by a family member, did this ever distort the perception you have about the family as a unit? Like, these people, this is my auntie, this is my, but look at what she has. Did they have that any form of distortion? Like, you see the family some way, be like, bro,
but
these people ain't it.
I think because I started reading earlier on about these things, I just came up to the conclusion that everybody's different, right? Just because somebody did this to me, does not mean say everybody is like that or every family unit is like that.
Yeah.
But it made me more aware and cautious. So that when I had my own kids, I'm very aware and intentional about how I do things to my kids and who I allow into my network. My kids will not share a room with a stranger. We don't do sleepovers, and if you're going to sleep in my house, sleep over my house, you have to be there with your child. You're not leaving your child with me.
You have to go through vetting process.
And even my own family members, they know that if your child is going to spend time with me, a parent has to accompany your child in my house. You don't leave your child in my house alone and go. I don't, and I won't.
No be me born am.
Yeah, I no. It's a place of love.
Yeah.
To protect myself and protect your child as well. I don't give other people's children's bath or showers or change them. I won't change in front of somebody's child. I won't do anything in that. I would never do that. So I have to set rules because of that.
But you didn't get this from, let's say, your parent.
No. Experience. Because it happened to me and I didn't want to make the same mistake. I just thought about it and said, what can I do differently? And I also believe that having an open dialogue home, an environment where my kids can freely talk to me, and I let them know that no matter what you do in my house, if you're telling me the truth, you would never get into trouble. And I always believe my kids. I tell them, I believe you. I always believe my kids until proven otherwise. I take their word for it. And then we'll go from there. That's very important too.
With all these things, happening, did you ever, feel like, this was your fault? Like, bro, I'm the problem. Because basically, people are not going to listen to you, or they are going to say, "Famanyami," then they will make it look like you are at fault.
I think so.
At some point, did you ever feel like, nah, bro?
I think subconsciously it affected me, and that's
You
why
were the problem?
I actually ended up abusing food because of that. Because then I felt that, people would make comments about the way I look growing up, that, you look this way, you look that way. And I guess I wanted to distort that way of looking to protect myself. So I leaned to food for comfort.
So you thought it was actually because you had, at that age, probably you had developed...
I developed quickly, yeah.
Which was not your fault.
It's not my fault, it's nature.
Biological tendencies, you can't control it.
You can't control it. But you have a small mind when you're growing up, you don't know anything. Your first idea of whatever is your experience of life is what happens to you when you were a child, right? You haven't grown to experience life. You're growing. So everything that happens to you affects the way you think about yourself and your idea of the world.
Where are you right now? Right now, you didn't get the form of closure that you wanted from the confrontation, but at least there was a confrontation.
Yes.
You've got it off your chest.
Yeah.
And so are we moving on from there, or you are still, there's another platform?
I wanted to press charges.
Okay.
That was my idea.
Because that is something that in this kind of setup, we don't even encourage people.
I want to press charges so that we can go face to face.
Okay.
I even went as far as telling this person that if they want to go the traditional way, like Ahimfie way, we can go there too. I'm willing to go there.
You believe in a traditional system?
At
this point, you want...
It's a system, right?
Yeah, every system.
So I'll give it the option.
Okay.
Some people think that they hide behind the Bible. A lot of people who are Christians don't believe, they're not afraid of the Bible, right? But when you tell them the traditional way, they for some reason, they feel like that works better. They are more inclined to be like, okay. But anyway, I told her, whatever, the court, it's up to you. Let's go to prove your innocence or your guilt. Let's go. But obviously, they're not interested. But the fact that I was able to talk to her, to me, means a lot to me because it means that I broke out of the fear,
So you okay now?
I'm okay.
Not 100%, but you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Has it affected the way, how you, your kids, basically, how I
raise my kids. Yeah.
Okay.
We talk about these things freely in our home. We don't shy away from such topics, which is very important.
Okay.
Because I don't think that sex should be a taboo in your home. Your kids are going to grow up, right? If you don't tell them, somebody else is going to tell them. So tell them how you want them to know.
This taboo thing, when we were in high school, biology, they mentioned vagina and people, hey, like, bro. At this point, anyway.
It's part of life.
Yeah.
And when you make something a taboo, that's when issues arise.
They want to know why are you making it a taboo?
Why are you making it a taboo?
Okay.
It's really not a big deal, really. Okay. Just explain it to them that under the right circumstances, when they are ready, it's going to happen. It's natural. It's part of life, right? But when somebody takes advantage of them before they are ready, then it's wrong.
Yeah. But don't you think this is a case of an enabling environment? If there is an enabling environment, people will speak up, because we are in an era where I think about 2 weeks ago, I did a space talking about mental health. This is a secret topic everywhere. But I had people come on the space to talk about what they are going through. You understand? So this era, more people are coming up. But then with this particular topic, do we have for instance, if you're a parent, I feel like you need to give your children that kind of enabling environment for them to tell you some of these things. And it's not like when they come and tell you now, you just, relegate their feelings to the background. You make them feel like what they are saying doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If it happens like that and he or she comes to tell you and you go like, nah, bro, this is not true. I don't think the next time the person would come to you with that kind of sensitive issue. Yeah. You understand? So I feel like enabling environment from the... And
you have to be your child's advocate.
Exactly.
You are your number one, your child's advocate. Yeah. You have to fight for your children. You have to believe your children.
And people will just bully them left, right, center.
They're yours.
Yeah.
You don't care about them. If you don't advocate for them, who's going to do it? When it comes to you and tell you that something has happened, believe them.
Yeah.
mean, because it's hard for somebody to even gather the courage to come and tell you that something has happened.
Especially with that particular
issue, molestation.
Yeah.
So like, have an open dialogue, have a space for your kids at home to be able to come and talk to you. And then your reaction is very important too. Like I said, believe them. Let them know that you believe them and you have their back.
Even if you want to do an investigation.
Yes.
At least accept it. What you are saying makes sense. But let's, see what actually happened.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I feel like there are a lot of resources to me. More times I feel like we've not tried and tested our systems. They sit there, they get paid every month, they don't do anything. Maybe it's time for us to. And then today, they are not doing anything though. You are supposed to sensitize and enlighten people about the existence of such an institution.
Yes.
Because it's important.
Yeah.
People are going through these things.
Yeah.
If you don't let them know that, this is a safe space for you to come. I have this story of how this guy was abused. He went to report at Dosu and they say, your wife beat you, and they all started laughing.
Yeah.
Like, as a man there, you can't be abused by a woman in marriage, you understand? Yeah. So if we are not making the conscious effort to enable people to actually come out and say something, speak up, that is the point. Just speak up. They will just harbor everything. And
that's why I'm so grateful for this platform.
True.
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
This is not going to be the first time. We have to continue.
Yeah.
There has to be a dialogue.
Yeah.
People need to come out and share their stories, encourage each other, and then hopefully we can start some sort of movement and gradually make a change.
When you go to other jurisdictions, they have something like Mental Health Awareness Week. Here, fully in Jaman Kwani.
And it's all part of mental health.
Yes.
The abuser is mentally ill. And the abusee, the victim is also going through trauma.
Yes.
So we need a solid mental health facility to do this.
We don't have it.
We'll start. We're working on it. We have something going on.
We have
something.
We're
working on
Pantai,
something.
So
we're working on something. Yeah.
When we put it in your face, you would know. It's huge.
But together we can make a difference. I really believe that.
Yes,
I really do.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we had this conversation.
Me
because,
too.
If you want to share your story in the comment section, feel free and share it. For anonymity purposes, you can send me your stories in a DM. I'm not going to mention your name. But yes, let's keep the conversation going because if we don't say it, you just go sit there.
Yeah, and it's going to happen over and over again.
You'll feel like it's right. It's not right. Because
it's not right.
And there are some things like,
calling your child my wife.
My wife. I call her already for. Imagine, 45-year-old man.
Yeah.
10-year-old kid. My wife.
Come and sit on my lap.
Come and sit on my lap.
Yeah.
Bro, it's not about sitting. You have that kind of. Please, let us respect boundaries.
Yeah.
You understand? Because come and sit on my lap saying, what are you talking about? You don't have anywhere for her to sit.
And if you think of a child and you have any tendencies towards a child, you should know it's not normal. Yeah. It's a sickness.
That one is mental health.
It's a mental illness. Yeah. Seek help.
Sad, man. But recently, like there are people actually. There was this 60-year-old man that had sex with a baby.
Wow.
Baby.
In Ghana.
Yes, it happens all the time. They are in the news. I can pull like 75 articles.
It's sick. It's just beyond.
And some of these cases, especially when it happens
in
the
rural areas.
Yanku who are him fear for near children, then
that's it.
But if that wouldn't be the first time or the last time, it will keep.
So we have to start with an awareness, that this is not normal.
It's not normal, bro.
And let's not encourage this behavior.
Yeah, but I'm glad you open up to us on this episode. This is what the show is about.
It gets better if you've been through it.
Yeah,
you can go through the process of getting better and healing yourself.
Yeah. The healing process.
The healing process.
Yeah. So yes, thanks for passing through, and feel free to share your story in the comment section if you have ever been in this situation. If anyone tries to make mockery or ridicule the situation, obedi Brock. Yes, Brock. In the wise words of Ajagraja. But anyway, my name is Sheldon. And this has been Parenting Unplugged. This will be the only place you will find this kind of content. Yapon.
Hey, Yapon.
Hey.
Follow us.
Hey. Follow Parenting GH on all social platforms.
Yes.
Thread, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Everywhere.
You're on
Facebook.
Twitter, right? I'm not on Twitter.
Okay, you need to come on Twitter.
I'm scared.
Oh yes, you have to. You have to be. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to be scared. But anyway, follow Parenting GH on Instagram, on Threads, on YouTube. I will drop the links in the description so that you join the conversation on these platforms. We out.
We out.
Yo, Joe. What's on this channel? Okay, any mama check them some fro. Kaish, a soon tap send party jack. Mama we are saying can you? Hey, remember that?
Ofa, pacha mama fro.
You know what when you say?
Masoya yeshino nana.
Not there.
Se baby ameti ye to me. And I'm ofa send me ska. Didn't can what they see we business ni pakura discount.
Oh.
You the buy and so me ko iya. E ho sem bebre. Afi kwado mo busam se my transaction or hoda.
Ah, Debbie. And catch you, catch your offer say on download do tap send. So download the tap sender or send this camera wire. About to send mobile money and our bank account simple.
Tap send.
Yeah, tap send. Now okay, tap send it there. If you see a fan baby ubia, so what Europe and America, Canada, so kura Android so kuta iPhone and once I download the app na 2 phones so. In the process, maybe say promo code aye no boy yawa asho e basa automatically no. Yeah, chow £5 and €5 and you more Europe. So America and Canada, yeah, chow $10 for free. Oh, send this cancel. Yento tap send it there. No fee.
Hey, they just say okay yo. Tap send. Papa no.